to finish off the video on politics, right? As of right now, we have a very polarized nation on what people will call the left and the right. Unfortunately, what we see in America today is basically the same exact cyclical nature of evil that we see, that we have seen in recorded history. And the tactics being used are very dirty. And what I mean by that is this, like, everybody wants to say that they're doing something for good, right? And I remember reading in a book where a CIA agent talked about everybody that you're going to ever meet in life that says that they try to do good. They always believe that they're on the right side of moral judgment. Like they're on the right side of good. So you're going to meet somebody that's going to say, well, I killed this person to do good. I mean, I set this person up to do good. I did this for good. And they will totally believe it. Totally believe that they're doing something good. The problem is that they're feeding into evil. And when I mean feeding into evil, I truly mean that. Evil is a real entity, like it's a real thing. It's a real growing entity, like it's a real energy. If people don't understand that during world wars and things like that, evil is excited upon. Like, for example, like people rush to do it. 9/11 is a great example of people rushing to do evil. People going to say, well, I joined the military to do good, to save lives and, to stop terrorism or, things like that. But on the inside, and truth be told, they really joined the military to go kill. They wanted to kill. They wanted vengeance. And I know what that feels like. I know that energy. I know that evil. What I had to realize learning that evil is that that evil needs you. It needs for you to feed it. And you feed the evil by bringing yourself and more on. So they're like, come on, let's come join evil. And people join it with the premise of doing good. And the story of of Satan is the greatest trick that the devil ever proved was convincing the world that he didn't exist. And the way you convince the world that evil doesn't exist is by masking it in good. When terrorists, or what do you call terrorists or whatever, wants to infiltrate something or wants to get back at something, the first thing they do is they mask it with doctrine of God, like theology, like oh we're doing this for God. God said to do this, and there's other terrorists that do the same thing in different forms of doctrine. They mask it in different ways, but God is the number one way of masking evil. Just say you're doing it for God. The problem with that is God would never tell you to do something evil. And I'll give you an example. God says in the Old Testament, thou shalt not kill, right? The Old Testament is followed by Jews, and the Ten Commandments is predominantly followed by Christians too, right? It didn't say thou shalt not kill unless, no. It says, thou shalt not kill. It also tells you to love thy neighbor and other aspects of it. So you will find nobody right now, especially in Western society, looking at their neighbor and loving them. They do not love thy neighbor at all. I've seen it for myself. You have people nowadays using any type of disguise that they can to do evil. So you have two political views arming up against each other, creating mudslinging, creating a very very messy battle. And now that I posted the 2025 and the other politics video, I want to follow it up by making sure that I solidify the understanding that people can see it, the perspective that people can see and have some understanding that we as human beings are under attack psychologically in a way I don't think I can ever put into context. I don't know where in written history has people been under this level of psychological warfare. In 2016, they say that Russians used online, what do you call it? Russians used like Facebook and Instagram to attack the American public and change their political views. And they actually did a whole investigation on it and was locking people up because of it. But our media does it themselves. They do the exact same thing themselves, and they're not locking nobody up for that. So their view is it's okay if Americans do it on Americans, but if Russians do it on Americans, it's illegal. And the truth is that it's not that it should be illegal or it should be legal. The truth is it's just plain old evil. So when you use evil to do something good or try to do good or whatever you think you're doing, it creates more evil. And you will never be able to get good out of evil. Which hence Dr. Martin Luther King proved that by saying that he would not defend, or offend. He would not fight back when evil was coming to him. He would not fight back with evil again. He would not use weapons. He would not defend himself off of no attack because he knew that it would be evil. And Jesus took the same steps. He took the same steps. Jesus gave himself up to the Romans to be crucified, which is, to me, is just one of the most horrific things of torture you can do to a person. And the sad part about the Jesus story is he was innocent. And I know what that feels like. So you have your Republicans now fighting this democratically ruled system right now by doing things like taking away votes for felons. So in some states, if you're a felon, you can't vote. It's like gerrymandering a little bit, typically saying that we know that you're going to vote democratically for the Democrats in this state, and if you're a felon, more than likely you're a Democrat. So what we're going to do is we're going to not let you vote. Then you have them going across the board and taking away women's rights to have an abortion, which to me is They're using what I tell you about using God. They're like, God says that you can't kill and you're killing people, but we all know that they will kill. So for any reasons to fit their own interests, so they don't really care about saving lives of the baby. They just want to make sure that they can take away a right. And what I'm telling for the Democrats, what I'm saying for the Democrats is that you created this. You created this level of evil by being evil yourself. You did that. The Democrats started taking away, first of all, the first thing they did was they prosecuted Donald Trump. They used the criminal justice system as a weapon. And I'm gonna tell you for a fact that this is a normal thing that Democrats do. It's a normal thing. They will use the criminal justice system to benefit them. So as soon as they find a way that they're going to get in, and infiltrate, they'll use it. Boom. Let's go lock him up. He's going to use money, resources. He's going to expend a lot of energy, emotional suffering and stuff like that. And sooner or later, he'll reform. He will bow down to whatever part of the interest we need him to bow down from. Whether we need him to not do something or to do something. They're using it to their advantage. That's the first thing. So Donald Trump, they wanted to make sure that they could put him in a position, like either make him a felon, make him an outcast in the community, isolate him, things like that. And boom, they did it. Now, regardless if you feel like Donald Trump is guilty or not guilty for his role in the January 6th or his role in oppressing the poll workers and things like that, it doesn't matter here. The truth is that that's what they did. And they let other people get away with other things that they overlook. I'll give you an example. Donald Trump's shooter literally was recorded by regular people. He got on a roof with an assault rifle. Somebody explain to me how they let that happen. How did that happen? He got on the roof with an assault rifle. I mean, we can't even walk up the street without being harassed with a bulge on us. Like, I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. You can't even be harassed. You have a bulge on you. It could be a phone. It could be a damn whatever. And you will literally be harassed. What you got on you, like, you mean? But he walked and climbed up a roof with an assault rifle. Interesting. Very interesting. So they'll overlook it as long as it could fit their benefit. As long as he could have killed Donald Trump, he got like 3 shots off. As long as he could have killed Donald Trump, benefit you. You go do that. Go kill him. Let's go do that. So the problem is that you created this. And what happens to the people that likes rights? Like, I like my right to vote. I like the fact that women have rights to have an abortion if they get raped or whatever, like, you know, whatever, however you look at it. I like for them to have their own rights. I like for rights not to be taken. I like for people to have things, not for rights to be taken. That's the problem. People are they're taking the rights, and that's what you'll understand what I mean at the end. But so what do we do? What you're going to see, and you'll see more of the bickering. I like for us to have these things. I like for the people to have the Second Amendment rights. You understand that when you have in the Second Amendment, when you have a country that could defend itself against powers, the higher powers that be. This is why the Second Amendment was created. When you have a country that could defend itself from a government that gets too big for its own self, from a government full of corruption, that's what you see. Right now, you literally see a government of corruption. And that's 9 times out of 10, that's what the Democrats have. They promote corruption. They don't even realize that they promote corruption. There's a lot of Democrats that will look at this and be like, we don't promote corruption. You do. You promote corruption. You will go to somebody, the most corrupted person you could go to, and say, hey, yo, I need you to do this. Damn, this is illegal. Don't worry about that. That is a corrupt soul right there. That is a corrupt spirit. That's a corrupt being. This person will sell out. He will. So, you have this sellout spirit that's working for your benefit. But what does it do? It creates a chaos, a scene of chaos. And it takes for not uncorrupted beings. It's not uncorrupted. See, that's what people fail to realize. It takes for a person that is reformed, a person that has had their spirit refined. We are all corrupted. We would not be here if we wasn't. Everybody on this planet is a corrupted soul. We would not be here in this reality if we were not. I know you can't, but a lot of people can't understand it, but we are. The story of Adam and Eve proves it. We were fallen and we were put here. We were put here to realize our full potential and to really bring upon this and save people from our own damnation. And that's what I'm here doing. Trying to make sure that people can understand this so that they don't make a terrible choice for their life. So, when you have this corrupted side creating this chaos, you have the creation of the chaos, which is the Republican side. Then the Republican side fights back by, boom, taking stuff from the Democratic side. And now where have we come to? We have come to the understanding that now the only person that benefits from the loss of rights is people that want to enslave you even more. Because what nobody has come out of this group to answer is, why did they do this? Who benefits from the loss of these things? Why did you go all the way out your way to do what you did? Why would you go all the way out your way to do what you did? Right now, you have people going all the way out their way to do things. What is feeding that energy to do it? What is feeding that energy to do it? And you know how I determine who has good intentions, good and evil? The benefits of it. The benefits of what are you going to gain from doing this stuff? And what is the energy that backs it? What fuels it? I'll give you an example. When they tell you you don't have freedom of speech, you can't say hate speech. Okay. All right. Makes sense. In your mind, you're like, that makes sense. We don't want people to go around teaching hate. Okay. Who determines hate? Who determines hate speech? Who has a universal determination of hate speech? Who determines hate? Because before the Russian invasion, or during the beginning of the Russian invasion, America was quick to say Russia was killing civilians. We're killing civilians, and you can't back Russia. If you defend Russia's point, you're a communist. Okay. Yeah. As soon as the Israelis got bold for doing, they say all that, it was like, oh shoot, yeah, they're killing civilians. You know what? It's time for us to kill civilians. So soon as you seen the Israelis start bombing civilians, the first thing America said was they have a right to defend themselves. Interesting. Now you're going to see the hypocrisy in it. And I can guarantee you there's going to be people that's going to see this and say, well, yeah, I agree with them. I agree with the Israelis bombing Gaza children and Palestinian, children and women and things like that. Did Americans bomb the Nazi Germany women, the Nazi women or supporters in Germany? Did we bomb them after World War II? Would you agree with that? If soldiers were to go into into the villages of Germany and start raping women, would you agree with that? Did you know that that happened? Did you know that the killing of civilians is a normal thing in war? Did you know that Israelis got on Twitter and were dancing around blowing up civilian houses and dancing in celebration? Did you know that they were doing unbelievable atrocities to people's property, their bodies, their dead bodies, and just being complete nasty type of human beings? Did you know that? Or could they not be nasty individuals because they're Israelis? Because these are Jewish people that were once going through torture themselves. And if you say something about it, you're anti-Semite. So this is what I mean about who determines hate or the speech. When you take away a person's right to speak, this is a tool. This is a weapon that will. This was a tool that will be weaponized. This will be used against you, guaranteed. You will. It will take away when you take away something from somebody. When you take that away, when you take away an inherent right, this is a universal right. We can talk, so we should be able to speak. God gives us the voice to talk. When you take that away, you inherently are choosing. You are the one that's being able to choose what you determine is right and what you determine is wrong. And this affects everybody. This affects every human being on this earth. Because at that moment, whoever is the majority is the one that's going to rule. The majority is going to be the one. They could be totally wrong. I mean, the majority could be cannibals. They could be anything. They could be on anything. And they could be totally, like, no morality, no morals, no nothing. They have no care for human beings at all. They have all destruction in their hearts and their souls. And boom, already done. That's what they want. And you could be the most purest human being in the world. You could be the most purest human being, and they could make you the wrongest person, and that's what they did to Jesus. So now you see the how they weaponize this. This is what, when they take it away from you, this is what they're going to do. They're essentially taking away your right. So the reason why I made that for the politics is this. Stop it. Stop it, left. I don't care that I'm a Democrat. I don't care that I spent most of my life voting for people, Democrats, that I felt were going to help out my community and have totally destroyed it themselves. They have laughed in my face when I wanted my own constitutional rights. When I wanted my own rights, you know, they laughed in my face. Do you know that the Constitution is rarely exercised? Do you know that the Constitution is rarely exercised? Do you know most of the people don't even know what the Constitution is, especially people on the right, on the left, the Democrats. Do you know most of them never even knew what our amendments are? They can't name more than 3 amendments. They'll name the First Amendment multiple times. They'll say freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom of assembly, and don't even know that's one freedom. That's one amendment. They don't even know that that's one amendment. That's not 3. That's 1. They don't know. They don't know. But yet they want rights. They want the right to take away your rights. They want the right to take away your Second Amendment. By using, the assault rifle should not be there and all this other stuff, and they'll use anything. They will use anything to take away your right. This is a setup, y'all. We are being set up. I truly hope that human beings will understand and wake up that we are being set up. While each other are fighting and they want you to say the right is this and the left to say the right is this, and then the right says the left is this and the left and the right says the left, you did this. While you're taking stuff away, going tick for tack, guess who's losing? The citizens. We're the ones losing. We are losing all our rights, y'all. You haven't even noticed it. We're losing our rights, y'all. We have now lost the right to vote. Something that right to vote, something that men have had. The felons are now losing it in multiple states. The right of the right for a woman to have an abortion, which is a very touchy subject. I'm not a woman. You know what I'm saying? I just don't feel that it should be up to me to determine yes or no. Honestly, that should be their decision. But they should have a decision. They should have a decision. But what do you see? Let's take that away from them. They're going to learn today. Sorry, women. Hold on. And I don't agree with abortion. Let me just say that too. But it's not, I'm not a woman. I don't go to the clinic to get an abortion anyway. So, and then here you have other things, other rights taken away. Your right to freedom of speech. Oh, you want to take away abortions? We're going to take away your right to freedom of speech. Soon it'll be your right to possess a firearm. I mean, just left and right, take away these jobs. Next will be the right to freedom of press or freedom of assembly. They've been took the freedom of assembly down. We know that. The freedom of press. I mean, we don't have that many non-biased journalists out there now. We don't even have it now. And now you want to attack journalism? Journalism is hands down one of the most dangerous jobs you can do right now in America. The only people that want to be journalists today are people who want to commit suicide. Suicidal people are journalists nowadays. I mean, when are we going to wake up and see that we're all losing here? We're all losing. Because that's our rights being taken away. While you're going tick for tack, it's never going to stop. By the time we done looking up, when we're done fighting each other, we won't have no amendments. We won't even have a constitution anymore. So you got to stop. And on my next video, what I'll do is I'll show you how to stop. I'll show you why we were put on this planet and how to stop this silly tick for tack and feeding into what the people in power really want is for us to be enslaved.